Peter Whitten here with you for another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Thanks for joining us live on this Monday, the 22nd day of September 2014. I was reading an article this weekend. Can't find the link for it, so I'll just have to do it by memory. But it was fascinating, and it underlined to me the remarkable difference in understanding of health and human suffering and the pathoneogenesis of disease from the contemporary allopathic MD monopolistic Machiavellian point of view and the correct holistic world view. It was a researcher, a cancer researcher, a MD oncologist involved for 30 years with cancer research. And the basic gist of the article was that spontaneous remissions from cancer occur. What's going on? This doctor, an MD oncologist, was reporting an experience that she had years ago with a female breast cancer patient. Definitive diagnosis of breast cancer, and the woman, the patient, refused conventional treatment. She refused radiation, she refused chemo, and she refused surgery. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The oncologist, the MD oncologist, stated in the article that the woman, the patient, chose instead of conventional medical treatments, alternative medical treatment. She did nutrition, she did acupuncture, she did herbal medicine. God only knows what else she did, right? And the cancer went away. Then the MD oncologist went on to say that such spontaneous cures of cancer remain a mystery. Do you get it? In the doctor's mind, it couldn't possibly have been the alternative treatments that the woman did that cured the cancer. Could not possibly have been that. It had to be a spontaneous remission of cancer. Had to be. Couldn't be acupuncture, because everybody knows acupuncture doesn't treat cancer. Couldn't be herbs, couldn't be nutrition, couldn't be homeopathy, couldn't be anything else. It had to have been a spontaneous remission. So the MD oncologist, in her mind, had completely thrown all of the non-MD therapies into the trash bucket, had a built-in bias against them, and even when they produced a result, which was remarkable, no more cancer, she could not conceptualize the notion, couldn't even bring her frontal cortex to register or to think about the notion, the idea, that it was the non-MD treatments that fixed the cancer, not hers. Couldn't have been the alternative treatments, couldn't have been the medical nutrition. The cancer resolved on its own spontaneously. Now, this is bad news, ladies and gentlemen. And it harkens back. I mean, I can probably think of some contemporary examples. I mean, if you went to mainland China or to North Korea and had conversations with people in the government about the benefits of democracy and voting, you would probably be looked at askance. You would be looked at like you were kind of a crazy person. What are you talking about voting? This is a communist country. It's a communist dictatorship. The dictator says jump, and everybody else in the country says how high. We don't vote here. Voting, what's that all about? Well, that's the same mindset that exists in the world of medicine today, and you would not think that it would, but it does. And this, I think, is the biggest disconnect that the American public has with the delivery of medicine here in the United States, because people are of the incorrect opinion that their medical doctors, their disease management providers, because remember, the MDs do not practice healthcare, they are of the notion that the MDs are open-minded scientists who are only interested in the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Well, it couldn't be further from the truth. Your MD does not practice medicine. Your MD practices allopathic, reductionistic, pharmaceutical centrist medicine. And, you know, that's a strange, outdated, old-fashioned philosophy of medicine. It's an old, outdated, old-fashioned worldview It's kind of like a pair of lenses that the MDs are filtering all of the information that they see in front of their face about disease and the treatment thereof through, but they don't think that they have a filter. And see, this is a problem because most American citizens, most Canadian citizens, most people in the world believe that their medical practitioners, the MDs and the people doing research, all the PhDs, are open-minded scientists, but they're not. They're closed-minded intellectual cowards. That's what they are. And it is not possible for their eeny-teeny brains to jump outside of the box. So even when they see a cure in front of their own eyes, and they know that the person was employing therapeutics other than they were trained in, it couldn't possibly have been those other therapeutics that were the thing that made the cancer go away. It couldn't possibly be that. It had to be a spontaneous remission of cancer. And this is how they conceptualize everything. And this is why, under their watchful gaze, heart disease remains unchanged, cancer remains unchanged, Alzheimer's is skyrocketing, autism is skyrocketing, obesity is skyrocketing, type 2 diabetes is skyrocketing, arthritis, everything. It's out of control. It is a freaking out of control machine. It's a bus that's gone over a cliff, into a ditch, in the middle of a swamp, in the middle of a forest fire. It's bad. And it is not getting any better. Not in the foreseeable future. It's not going to get any better because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And the mindset that the MDs bring to bear on this is so overarching in its Machiavellian machinations that it is completely impossible for the MD to even see the cure when the cure is right in front of them. And this is a scary situation, folks. People would be horrified if they understood correctly, and it's a true approximation of the understanding that your psychiatrist, your MD-trained psychiatrist, is trained to believe that consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry. Consciousness doesn't exist outside of biochemistry. Consciousness is caused by biochemistry because we can mess with your consciousness with biochemicals. Okay. But that's what they believe. There's no such thing as a spirit. There's no such thing as a spiritual essence in the human body. There's no vital force. The human body is a biochemical bag waiting to break. And when it does break, there's no hope. There's no going back. A cure is not even considered an option anymore. Remember, they had such a pathetic outcome with cancer that about 10, 12 years ago, they started not even considering the word cure. Now it's a 5-year survivorship with cancer, right? If you have a cancer diagnosis and you live for 5 years, whatever you did is considered, a positive treatment. So you get breast cancer, you get your breasts hacked off. They put you on tamoxifen, and then you get side effects from that, and then the cancer shows up 5 years later in your liver because the tumor in the breast wasn't the disease. It was the result of the disease, but the MDs are clueless to this. So they just hack the breast off, irradiate the hell out of your system, trying to kill everything. Radiation and chemotherapy attempt to kill everything in the body, bring you just to the doorstep of death, and then stop so that the body can recover. And hopefully when it recovers, there will be no more cancer cells. You've got to be kidding me. It's like napalm. But this is the conceptual ideation that the MDs bring to the table, right? So, you've got a cancer condition and you go in for conventional treatment. And your personality changes, your mood changes, your life goes into the crapper because you're getting up 3 times a night to pee. You're peeing in the bed. You can't control your bladder. You can't control your emotions. You can't control your thoughts. You have insomnia. You have anxiety. You're filled with worry. And you have lots and lots of pain. And then on 5 years plus 1 day, you die from the very cancer that you were treated for, and your cancer treatment goes into the record books as a success. So now when a new cancer patient shows up to your doctor, they can say, oh, yes, I've successfully treated this type of cancer many times. And what they mean is, well, they've got all these people that lived for more than 5 years after the original diagnosis. And to them, that's considered a successful treatment. But that's not communicated to the patient that way. And so we follow each other into the depths of doom. Doom, I say. Doom. Because we don't know any better. I shall give you permission to die when Gotham is in ruins. It's crazy what we put up with. It's crazy who we give our trust to. It's crazy who we put on a pedestal to, because I am telling you, as God is my witness, your medical doctor, you got to drill this, right? Put this in big letters on your refrigerator, for goodness sake, and read it every day, before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner. My medical doctor does not know what's best for me. They only know what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is an old-fashioned, outdated, archaic system of medicine, which is responsible for all of the human suffering that is on the planet today. I mean, isn't it the MD's job to fix everything? Well, they've done it. And again, the hubris of the profession is so legendary that not only will they not recognize the efficacy of alternative treatments, alternative to their madness, of the holistic treatment, not only will they not recognize the effectiveness of the holistic treatment when it is right in front of their face, but they can't possibly bring themselves to consider the notion that it is their therapeutics which are at fault. It can't be their fault. They're the gods of medicine. It's your fault. You're lazy. You've got the cancer gene. That's what you've got. You've got the arthritis gene. You've got the bad heart gene. You've got the type 2 diabetes gene. Yeah? Well, guess what? Anytime a medical professional tells you your condition is genetic, ask them politely to tell you which gene it is. The Human Genome Project 12 years ago deciphered the entire human genome, discovered over 220,000 genes. Only 20,000 genes. That's it. Ask them to tell you which of the 20,000 genes that we're aware of is causing your type 2 diabetes, and watch their head explode. Then write a letter to the Department of Health of your state complaining that your medical professional is giving you incorrect, misleading, misguiding advice. Maybe if 1 million people write that letter, something will change. Everybody, Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD. I'm going to find that article, and I'll probably pull it up at the beginning of the second hour. Very fascinating stuff. It was in the Chicago Tribune. You need to read it just to kind of wrap your head around the way that the MDs look at the world, and my God, it's remarkable. I mean, it's kind of like, I guess, if we went back in time and to the antebellum South, and started hanging out with slave owners, with plantation owners, it would be kind of difficult to have conversations with them about the human nature of the slaves. What do you mean slaves aren't humans? They're animals. It's a given that slaves are animals. Blacks are animals. That's how we can treat them this way. The blacks don't have souls. They're not real human beings. They're animals. Everybody knows that. They're monkeys. They're evolved monkeys. That's what they are. They just don't get it. They just can't get it. It's right in front of their face, right? The slave owner, right? It's right in front of their face. Hundreds of slaves, human beings, that they're treating as animals. And even though the human being is standing right in front of their face, it is not possible for them to see it. This is bad. Well, this is how your medical doctor is. It's bad. Their training has brainwashed them, apparently, into believing in their own methodology to the exclusion of all others. Oh, we are the ministers of science. No, you are not. You are the legion bearers for reductionism. And reductionism is awesome for surgery. Thank God for the mattress suture. Thank God for the sterile technique, penicillin and Novocaine, and morphine. You bet. Reductionism has its place. And its place is trauma care, surgery when it's necessary, and a handful of infections. That's it. That's the long and the short of it. But, again, I guess it was, MASH and Dr. Kildare and Marcus Welby and Grey's Anatomy and House MD, right? And all these ridiculous TV shows that prop the MDs up as life-saving gods amongst us with the secret decoder ring to all things medical. It had to be that. I don't know, what else could it be? Maybe there is a mind control satellite. It's possible. I don't know. I mean, is there any other business where people can screw up the majority of the time and still be in business? No, it doesn't exist. Which is, again, a direct indication that we do not have a free medical market. We don't. Because if we did have a free medical market, the MDs would have been out of a job centuries ago. Well, maybe decades ago. We don't have a free medical market. I'm a naturopathic physician, and it's only legal for me to call myself a physician and practice medicine in 18 states in the United States, plus Puerto Rico. So what's 53? 51, take away 18. 33. There are 33 states in the United States in which my profession is unable to be practiced. I can't, hold myself out as a physician in the great state of Illinois. Can't do it. Can't do it in Massachusetts. Can't do it in Rhode Island. Can't do it in New York. Can't do it in Virginia. Can't do it in North Carolina. Can't do it in South Carolina. Can't do it in Georgia. Can't do it in Kentucky. Can't do it in East Virginia, West Virginia, Florida. Can't do it in Louisiana. Can't do it in Texas. Can't do it in Missouri. Can't do it in Kansas. Can we do it in Kansas? We might be able to do it in Kansas. Right? And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up, snap out of it, drink I am the red pill. Snap out of it. Throw the Kool-Aid away. Your medical doctor does not know what's best for you, and your medical doctor is completely incapable of helping you if you've been saddled with a chronic disease diagnosis. Quite frankly, their incompetence probably led you to do all the wrong things, which accelerated the genesis of the disease. Stop going to your MD. Fire your medical doctor now. Because when it comes to chronic disease, they are the wrong dog for the hunt. Instead, catch a fire, catch a clue. Educate yourself about simple steps you can take right now. Go to my website, become an insider, where you'll have exclusive access to a 24/7 forum where people are posting and answering questions all day long, where you'll have access to 2 hours of live chat with me every week, unadulterated live chat, where you will have access to 2 live health webinars, worldwide health webinars every month, where you will have immediate access to over 150, 200 hours, something crazy. We got hundreds of hours of archived health webinars available for you right now, where you can see the holistic perspective of asthma and arthritis and type 2 diabetes and lions and tigers and bears. Knowledge is power. Become an insider now. drglidden.com. Click on the insider link. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in and turning on. We're going to get to the phones very, very quickly here. So here's how we do it. I represent an international coalition of the informed, people who have taken it upon themselves the responsibility to help friends, family members, church members, community members, and quite frankly, even strangers understand the simple steps necessary for health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. You had to have someone teach you how to drive a car, right? Well, we're here to teach you how to get your health back. There's only one of me. There's millions of you. And so I have enrolled and I work with thousands of people all around the world who have studied with me, studied with Dr. Wallach, the simple steps necessary to take to support and promote your body's ability to optimize its structure and function. You can become one of the enlightened also. If you're listening to this radio program on a terrestrial station and you like what I'm talking about and you want to learn more, listen to the commercial breaks on your terrestrial radio station and call the number advertised during the commercials for longevity support. There is somebody standing by right now to take your phone call, to answer your questions, and to introduce you, to show you, to welcome you into the country, the undiscovered country. of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. If you are watching this live broadcast on YouTube, and you found it all by yourself, and you want more information, if you stumbled upon this radio program all by your lonesome, and you want information about how to interface with me, then the number to call is 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Hit extension 1. And if you were introduced to this radio program by an already existing Youngevity member, someone said, you know what, I know a doctor who says you don't have to suffer with that. I really think you should check this radio program out. If that happened to you and you like what I talk about, then get with the person who introduced you to my show, and they will show you what to do next, because this is how we do it. It is a grassroots coalition of independent longevity business owners all around the world who have dedicated themselves to you, to helping you understand what to do to support yourself with the simple steps of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Check it out and get on board. Join the revolution, and let's move this conversation forward. Let's move to Texas right now and talk to Ann. Hey, Ann, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi. I had spoken with you before, and I was talking about I being diagnosed with military neck, and told you that I've been taking different, working with a doctor for thyroid over 8 months, and it goes from hyper to hypo, and you said probably because of the military neck, it didn't have the curvature, is the problem with the thyroid, but my phone battery went dead, so I didn't get to hear all of what you were saying. So that's why I'm calling back. And I was also wondering if that military neck and lack of curvature could be a problem with me not sleeping well and having short-term memory problems and my hair thinning.
Well, you know, so everything's connected in the wonderful world of holistic medicine. I mean, quite frankly, you can have, you know, a problem in your little toe, and it can be affecting your blood sugar. I mean, everything is connected here, and this is one of the things that we teach people, is how to understand this, because, you know, you don't just have a thyroid problem, because the thyroid's connected to the pituitary and the adrenal glands and the liver, and in your case, the ovaries, and then everything's connected. I mean, it's all one big part of the soup. I mean, you can't go into an automobile and, you know, take two of the tires off and expect the car to work, because, you know, the tires are an integral part of the machine. You can't go into an automobile and take two of the spark plug cords off and expect the engine to work, because it's an integral part of the machine, and everything needs to be in working order. Well, that's the way that it is with the human body. So, specifically, when we see a military neck, we assume that the nerves coming off of the neck, which feed different parts of the body, and one of the parts of the body that the nerves which come off of the neck feed is the thyroid gland. So we would assume that the nerve transmissions to the thyroid will be less than optimal. So therefore, we can assume that the thyroid gland is going to be funky, and that's a scientific term, by the way, funky. And so you've got a funky thyroid, and probably there's nutritional stuff going on, because everybody has nutritional stuff going on, because everybody eats the wrong food all the time, and everybody is minerally deficient. I mean, everybody is minerally deficient. That much is a given. Unless you're supplementing with a good, high-quality mineral supplement, your body is nutritionally deficient, period. So I know you have mineral deficiencies. Everybody does. I know you have nutrient deficiencies. Everybody does. And if you have a diagnosed military neck, then 5 will get you 10 that the nerves going to the thyroid have been compromised. So your thyroid's compromised, your body is nutritionally compromised. Therefore, things are going to start breaking down. Things are going to start breaking down, and your body is going to collapse at its weakest link. So now, interestingly enough, you know, if your little finger, your pinky finger on your right hand is your weakest link, well, when the pinky finger goes, that's probably not going to affect very many other things in the body. But if your thyroid gland is your weakest link, or your kidney is your weakest link, right, then that's going to have an impact on different parts of your body. specifically related to that organ failing or being less than optimal, which is a separate and distinct conversation from just kind of general overall down regulation of many systems in the body because of chronic mineral and nutrient deficiency. So you've got a couple of different things going on here. The most probable cause of sleep trouble, inability falling asleep, is linked most often to not enough calcium and not enough magnesium. An inability to stay asleep, which means you fall asleep okay, but you wake up. You wake up after only a couple of hours of sleep and you're wide awake, can't get back to sleep, or when you do get back to sleep, it's after many hours. That's a blood sugar issue most of the time. There can be other things at play, but usually that's a blood sugar issue if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake. Brain fog, difficult memory, that tends to be just general kind of baseline malnutrition. It's called, fuzzy brain or fuzzy thinking. And generally speaking, that's just a random assortment of vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids and amino acids, any number of which can be deficient. And then that's just going to make your brain not think right because, you want to do a little experiment to see how much of an impact nutrition has on how you think. Eat 5 tablespoons of sugar back to back. Eat 5 tablespoons of sugar back to back, and then wait 2 hours and see what happens to your brain. You'll be amazed. I mean, you can't think straight. You get emotional highs and lows. You'll get really sleepy. You'll get really moody. You'll get really irritable. You won't be able to remember things. You won't be able to think straight. Same thing with lots of caffeine, depending, of course, on your body weight and your tolerance to caffeine. But so, generally speaking, what we do for everybody, and which we would need to do for you here, is kind of a three-step, a three-step strategy. Step number 1, you need to get the anatomical stuff straightened out. Well, in your case, unstraightened out. You need to get rid of the straight, and you need to get the curve put back into your neck. And a chiropractor worth their salt will know how to do that and be able to give you exercises to put the curve back in the neck. It's a relatively easy thing to do. It takes time and persistence, but it can be done. So you need to get on that wagon and stay on that wagon until you get to the wonderful land of a curve back in the neck, number 1. Number 2, you need to stop eating food that's hurting the body. Everybody needs to stop eating food that's hurting the body, and that list you can get for free on my website, drglidden.com. Just sign up for my newsletter. It's right there in the right-hand column on the front page of my website. When you sign up for my newsletter, which is free, sign up for my mailing list, which is free, we'll send you a video that I did which explains why the 10 bad foods are bad and what the foods are. So you need to stop eating those. And number 3, you need to nutrify your body with extra thyroid help and extra cartilage help, right? Because if you have a military neck, you've got funky cartilage in your body. Why do you have funky cartilage? Because you have a big bad voodoo curse? No. Because you have a bad gene? No. Because you have a bad doctor? Yes, that's it. You have a bad doctor. You've been getting all the wrong advice your entire life, and because you've taken the wrong advice, unwittingly, it's not your fault, it's the doctor's fault, your body is falling apart. You've been under their care. You've been paying for medical insurance to gain access to their knowledge and their expertise and their know-how. And while you've been under their care, your sleep is for crap, your thyroid is for crap, your memory is for crap, your mood is for crap, your energy is for crap. They did a great job, didn't they?
No.
Right. Well, but this is the situation that we're all in. And as God is my witness, I don't get why there's not, a million-person march, on the American Medical Association on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Because it's the MD's fault that you're this way, because it's been under their care that you've gotten this way. It's their fault. It's got to be somebody's fault. Whose fault is it? Oh, no, it can't be the doctor's fault. It's got to be your fault, right? You've got the funky thyroid gene. That's what you've got. Well, no, you don't. You've been played by the pharmaceutical industry, and it's a crying shame, quite frankly. So what do? We eliminate the 10 bad foods. You put the curve back in the neck with good old-fashioned or new-fashioned physical medicine from a chiropractor that knows what they're doing. And you give your body nutritional support. Here's the best way to do that. What's your current body weight, Ann?
Around 130.
Okay. So here's what I would do for the first 6 months. And I would do this for 6 months in your case because you've got a couple of different things going on here. And, whenever we have a military neck, that takes a little bit more time than other things do to get on the other side of. So for 6 months. Now, however, right, inside of this 6-month window, you want to pay attention to how you feel. I would get a legal pad, and on one side of it, I would write down all of my complaints. I would put all of my complaints in one column. Mm-hmm. On very left-hand side of the page, I can't sleep at night. I've got fuzzy thoughts. My energy's in the crapper. I want to take a nap every day at 2 o'clock. And then every week, draw another column, right, and label it at the top with the date. And once a week, check in with yourself and give that symptom a score. From 0 to 10, 0 being it's gone, and 10 being, shoot me now. It's so bad, just shoot me in the head because I can't take it anymore. Okay. Then you'll be able to have a visual reference over time of whether or not you're improving with this treatment strategy or not. And what we anticipate with a good holistic medical nutrition support program is every couple of weeks, you get a little bit better. Something else brightens up every couple of weeks. Oh, I'm sleeping a little bit better now. I only woke up once this night. Oh, you know what? I could remember my phone number today. That's a big deal. Whatever. Small, steady, slow steps. It's like watching a flower grow. Giving your body the right nutrition and eliminating foods that are bad for you. It's kind of like watching a flower grow. It's a process. It's not an event. It takes time. Time is your biggest friend here, which we are out of now, Ann from Texas, because good old Dr. Glidden talks a blue streak. You stick with me. On the other side of the break, I'll tell you exactly what to do every month for the next 6 months. Stick around. Welcome back, Jack. Or I should say, rather, Ann from Texas. Hey, welcome back, Ann. You still with me?
Hello.
Hey, Ann, by the way, what's your horse's name?
What?
What's your horse's name?
My horse's name?
Yeah, doesn't everybody in Texas have a horse? No?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Oh. You kind of threw me there for a minute.
Oh, yeah, I thought they did. I was told everybody in Texas has a horse. Do you have a big cowboy hat? Do you?
No, I don't.
How about spurs? Do you have spurs that
no,
go jingle,
I don't
jangle,
have any of those
jingle?
Either.
You don't have spurs? How about a handgun? Do you have a handgun?
No, I don't.
Oh, my. What are you doing in Texas?
I know. There you go.
All right, great. So here's what I would do at 130 pounds, more or less. That's your weight, about 130?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
all right, great. So every month I would do one Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. One of those.
Okay.
Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0. Make sure it's the liquid, please. One of those. All right. I would do 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. That's selenium with an Selenium. 3 bottles of those. 1 bottle of Immortalium. 1 bottle of Immortalium. Immortalium. One of those. 1 bottle of actually 2, please. I take that back. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals. And last but not least, the Glucogel. Glucogel liquid. 1 bottle of liquid Glucogel plus. So you're going to need, I'd start with 2 bottles, please, of liquid Glucogel plus a month. 2 bottles of liquid Glucogel plus a month. Now, for a little fun and a little kind of outside of the box thought, please get the essential oil of myrrh, MYRRH, essential oil of myrrh, and put a couple of drops of the myrrh oil directly on your neck over your thyroid gland 3 times a day. And after you put the myrrh oil on your neck over your thyroid, put the rest on your upper lip right underneath your nose. Take 3 or 4 deep breaths. Breathe the myrrh oil in, the essential oil of myrrh. It's very effective at helping to support and promote healthy thyroid function. Okay.
Okay. Can I clarify that? 2 drops, excuse me, of the myrrh oil over my thyroid 3 times a day?
Yeah, morning, afternoon, and night, because it'll wear out. When you stop smelling it, put a little more on.
And then you said over my lip? Is that
Yeah,
what
so
you
you'll put it on the thyroid, and you'll have a little bit left over on your fingertip, right? And so you just rub your fingertip on your upper lip, and some of the oil will go there, because the way that essential oils work, well, there's kind of a 1-2 punch. The essential oils will penetrate the skin and have a direct effect on the thyroid by virtue of absorption through the skin, but also when you inhale the aroma of the essential oil, it sparks biochemical pathways in your body which are efficacious in this direction or that direction or another. So whenever you're using an essential oil for anything, anywhere in your body, it's always a good idea to inhale the odor, the aroma of the essential oil, because that's part of the treatment. And the last thing you need to do, Ann, is just make sure that you're using salt that has iodine that's been added to it. Use iodized salt. And I'm starting to lean away from table salt, because apparently in a lot of brands of table salt, there's a decaking agent. You know, when you sometimes if you get salt, you have to hit it a couple times before it starts to pour out, because it gets all clumpy. Well, they put a chemical in some salts to make that not happen. I forget what the chemical's name is, but the decaking chemical that they put in salt is not that good for the body. So I'm recommending people lean away from table salt and get Himalayan salt or Celtic salt or sea salt.
Oh, yeah, I already have that.
Right, but you want to get that has iodine added to it, okay?
Okay.
It's easy to find table salt.
I was asking you about, do you know of anything that would be good for the thinning hair to help that during this time?
Yeah, everything that I just recommended, because, the rationale, the reason that the hair is thinning ostensibly is either because the thyroid is funky, number one, or number two, your body just has run out of the hair nutrients. As an extra add-on, you can use hair, skin, and nails. 2 bottles of Youngevity's hair, skin, and nails formula every month. Check it out, and give us a call back every 4 to 6 weeks with a report. I'll look forward to it, and I appreciate your trust. Stick around, folks. Hour 2 coming up at 6 after the hour. Thanks so much. If you like the radio show, you're going to love what we have available for you online on my website and as an insider. Go to drglidden.com and check out all the goodies that are available there, both for free and for a minimal subscription fee, which you can cancel at any time. God only knows why you would want to. Let's go to New Haven, Connecticut, and talk to Walter. Hey, Walter, I almost moved to New Haven, Connecticut years and years ago. Thanks for the call. You are live.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm 82 years old. I'm a Korean veteran. I go to the VA. And I recently, a year and a half ago, I had open heart surgery, and then I had actually 2 stents put in, and then AFib, which didn't work. And I was on medication, on prescription. And actually, about 3 months ago, I had the audacity to stop all that prescription, and I started with Youngevity. And I feel better and better and better.
God
and I
bless you,
recently
Walter.
had blood work done at the VA, and they said that my thyroid was underactive. They prescribed levothyroxine, which is a synthetic.
Yeah.
And what I did, on the internet, I got the porcine. I'm taking porcine.
That's smart,
thyroid, and and I'm taking actually 300, about 4 tablets of 130 each milligrams, and I feel better, but I'm still not quite there. And they said that my thyroid is still low. Now, like I said, since getting off the prescription drugs, I feel 1,000% better, but I'm concerned. I mean, what can I do as far as minerals and vitamins to improve my thyroid? The other thing is, I'm about 50 pounds overweight. I'm 5'8". I weigh 230 pounds, and I want to get down to 180.
Okay.
Because, like that, because of the heart, and and also with the blood tests that they that they do, I mean, how accurate is this to diagnose the thyroid condition?
Well, that's a great question, and that's where we'll start. Because, my colleague, Dr. Wallach, the founder of Youngevity, he's a colonel in the Air Force. His military license never expires. He can be called back into active duty anytime. And Dr. Wallach's, one of my favorite sayings of Dr. Wallach's is that you can give your life 2 times for your country, once on the battlefield and once at the VA. So, you've survived the VA. Thank God for that. But when it comes to thyroid testing, the testing that's performed at the Veterans Administration hospitals across the United States is the thyroid stimulating hormone test, the TSH test. And the TSH test is 100% incapable of giving you a good understanding of what's happening with your thyroid. If you were to put a little stint into your one of the veins in your arm, and you drew a blood sample from your arm every hour for 24 hours, and you check the TSH level, it jumps around like a Mexican jumping bean. It's all over the place depending on the time of the day and too many variables to predict. The only time that the TSH test is effective and accurate and useful is if it's really, 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 really high or really, 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 really low. But of course, medicine progresses one funeral at a time, and the VA people are going to continue to roll out this old-fashioned, ridiculous, ineffective, stupid, juvenile, useless test because that's what they were taught to do in medical school, and you can't fix stupid. So, honestly, I'm not sure you even have a thyroid problem, considering the testing that's done for that at the VA, because as far as I'm concerned, the testing that's done at the VA for thyroid conditions is incapable of giving you any idea whatsoever about how healthy your thyroid is. Now, when you're taking a thyroid hormone supplement, whether it's levothyroxine, Synthroid, or some natural alternative, like Armour Thyroid, or Nature Throid, or whatever, you need to take the stuff for 30 days in a row before you judge its effectiveness, because it takes that long for your body to assimilate to the thyroid hormone so that you can know whether it's a good thing for you or it's a bad thing for you, or whether you need to up the dose or down the dose or whatever. It's always 4 weeks. So you need to know this moving forward. If you're going to attempt in the future to modify the dose of the thyroid stuff that you're taking, every time you modify it, you have to stick with the modification for 4 weeks before you can judge it, because that's just the way that thyroid hormones work in the body. Now, given the fact that you feel a little bit better since you've taken it, and given the fact that you're in your 80s, and given the fact that you've had all these other chronic health conditions, then I'm going to say that wasn't a bad idea for you to get on board with that supplement. However, in order to optimize thyroid hormones in your body, you need selenium. You need selenium. Selenium is a mandatory mineral here in order for your thyroid hormone to function the way that God and nature intended it to. Your thyroid makes a number of different hormones. 2 of the main players are thyroid hormone 3, called T3, and thyroid hormone 4, called T4. Now, as it would have it, T3 is stronger than T4. You'd think it would be the other way around, but T3, the smaller number, is the stronger of the 2 hormones, and T3 is your body's preferred thyroid hormone. Now, the porcine thyroid supplement that you're taking contains both T3 and T4, contains both of them. Synthroid contains only T4, interestingly enough. Now, in order for your body to convert T4 into T3 to make more of the stronger thyroid hormone from what it already has, it needs selenium. If it doesn't have selenium, it can't make that conversion. So, whether you're taking levothyroxine, Synthroid, or Armour Thyroid, or whatever it is that you're doing, in order to support optimal thyroid hormone metabolism, your body needs to have adequate levels of selenium. And at your body weight, the recommendation would be 4 bottles a month. 4 bottles a month of the ultimate selenium delivered by Youngevity. Now, you're going to get lucky here. You're going to get lucky here, Walter, because selenium is the captain of the fire department of your body. And whenever anybody has clogged arteries anywhere in their body, whether they're in the kidneys or they're in the adrenals or they're in the heart, and in your case, they were in the heart, whenever anybody has clogged arteries in the body, it is our belief that the arteries clog not because of the presence of cholesterol, but because of the presence of chronic, undetected, low levels of inflammation. It's like these little bushfires that are in the body all the time. And every once in a while, the bushfire is going to coalesce into a forest fire, and then the arteries are going to clog. So in order to keep that at bay, in order to keep that from happening, it would be prudent to have a strong fire department in the body. And in order to have a strong fire department, you need selenium. So you get a 2-for-1 here, because selenium will go a long way towards optimizing thyroid function, and selenium will go a long way towards knocking down any of the brush fires that are still happening in your body. Because I got to tell you something, man. Your arteries didn't clog because you got arteries, and simply putting stents in the arteries or sticking another artery into your heart is going to do nothing at all to change the metabolic process that caused the arteries to clog in the first place, right? I mean, that therapeutic is like painting over the mold in your basement. And even if you use Glidden paint, it's a bad idea because you're just painting over the situation. You're not getting to the root cause of it. So what we recommend to support and promote optimal cardiovascular function is selenium, 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 and a lion's share of antioxidants. Antioxidants are found in many different foods, many different spices, many different beverages, right? Antioxidants. They're also found in nutritional supplements. Antioxidants are measured by their ORAC score. You need 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. And I tell people how to do that in my book. By the way, you can get my book for free now. My book, for free. And it'll explain all of this in the book. Go to freedoctorbook.com. Free, DOCTOR book.com, freedoctorbook.com, and you can download to your computer an entire copy of my book for free, and it will explain this antioxidant thing to you because you need to understand it. 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day need to go down the hatch, and I do not care how that happens. Food, coffee, tea, wine, nutritional supplements, I don't care. 100,000 a day should be your goal. Now, at your body weight, in order to lose weight, it will naturally happen as your body is more and more nutrified. Because when your body is nutrified with the longevity supplements, you stop craving calories. And when you stop craving calories, you stop eating calories. And when you stop eating calories, you start losing weight. So if you want to really have some fun with this, Walter, and push this envelope, you got to count your calories for 2 or 3 days, understand how many calories you actually are consuming, and then limit your daily intake to 1,200 calories a day. Limit your food intake to 1,200 calories a day or less. And one of the easiest ways to kick this ball off, if you haven't done it already, is by eliminating the 10 bad foods. So you need to eliminate the 10 bad foods that we line up on my website. It's in my book. Again, you can get all this information for free. You need to stop eating the 10 bad foods. You need to take 4 bottles of selenium a month. You need to do 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month. And 4 bottles, believe it or not, of plant-derived minerals a month. So to what you are already taking, please make sure you hit these numbers. 4 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month, 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month, eliminate the 10 bad foods, 100,000 ORAC of antioxidants a day, 1,200 calories a day, and as God is my witness, in 6 months, you will be a new man. Stick around, folks. How about that? By the way, I bet you didn't know that the average lifetime of a stent is about 5 years, and your cardiovascular surgeon never tells people that. Because, so here's what happens, right? I mean, imagine a sewer pipe in your house that's clogged with crap. Literally, it's clogged with crap, right? So instead of, flushing it all out and roto-rooting, the crap off of the sides of the pipe and just flushing everything out, here's what the MD does. The MD puts a little like Chinese finger trap thing into the pipe, gets it to a certain part of the pipe, and then pulls on it so that it expands and presses the crap against the walls of the pipe. That's what a stent is. A stent does not fix the problem that made the crap accumulate on the walls of the artery in the first place. And because it didn't fix the problem, it will fail ultimately, and stuff starts accumulating inside the stent, or it just gets all gummed up again because you painted over the mold. And I'm the quack, but the MD, the cardiovascular surgeon, is the hero, and it's nonsense. Fire your medical doctor yesterday. Hey, Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of my favorite cities in the U.S., is up to bat. Clinton's calling in with a question. Hey, Clinton, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, this is Clinton here from Minneapolis. Just want to say hello to you. But I had my team lead wanted to say hi to you too, Jeff Belvier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, he said he'll see you down there at the conference.
He's going to Vegas? Very nice.
Yep, he's going to Vegas. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend, but I'm looking forward in the spring here. Me and him was here. He actually came over to my house, and we're talking about a lot of things going on with longevity and just to get this business part moving forward as well. And also just wanted to shout out to you, too, from the other people, Ted Anderson and Naseema Sheedy, and so forth. So you'll be seeing those good people down there as well. We had a conference with Dr. Wallach here last week, so that went very, very good. I had some people from our church attend, and they were very enlightened.
Yeah, Ted told me, by the way, Ted Anderson, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason that I'm on the radio. Ted Anderson is the owner of the Genesis Communication Network, and it was Ted's insight and wisdom which gave me a chance to have a radio program. I'd never even considered doing radio before I met Ted Anderson, and Ted just threw me into the pool and said, swim. It's turned out pretty good so far. So the reason that I even have a radio program is because of Ted. And I'm going to give you a little insight, Clinton, as thanks to Ted and Naseema. I'm going to come up to Minneapolis and do a lecture for them in 2015.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to dial in those dates shortly, and we'll have that scheduled for you. I'm going to say, well, I don't want to make promises, but it'll be in 2015. Dr. Glidden will be rolling into town. You got over 300 people at Dr. Wallach's event, if rumor has it correctly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. It was filled up to the rim. So that was.
And how was it? What was the response like from the crowd?
Excellent.
Were there hecklers?
No. They were all tuned in, very attentive and focused, and just eager to get control of their health for themselves and for anybody else. And so, no, it was awesome. It was great.
Usually is these days, but I got to tell you something, Clinton. Back in the day when Dr. Wallach was first doing this, it wasn't so easy breezy lemon squeezy, and there were times when people would actually rush the stage and try to beat Dr. Wallach up. I mean, literally, wow. People would come up onto the stage and try to get into fistfights with Wallach. Motorcycle group showed up outside of one of Dr. Wallach's lectures, and 3-4 big motorcycle guys stood in front of the door with their arms crossed across their chest and wouldn't let people come into the lecture. Wallach got into a fist fight with the motorcycle gang members. Can you imagine that? I can imagine that.
Wow. Well,
I mean, I got to tell you something, man. The stuff that Dr. Wallach has done that nobody talks about, just so that today we can still be here. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, the the stuff that people did in the Revolutionary War, to get the United States away from England, and everybody has forgotten all that stuff. But it was because of their heroism that we're able now today to do what we do. Well, it's the same thing with Doc. I got to tell you, no kidding. Dr. Wallach has some stories to tell, man. He is a phenomenon of nature. You stick with me, Clinton. I'll come back with you after this hard break. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Minneapolis, Minnesota. A very, very strong advocate of longevity. Now, Clinton, I'm going to answer all your questions, but I want to take some time here with you. And I just want you to tell us, man, what do you do in order to get people interested in longevity? How does that conversation go? And what do you say? And what's your, what kind of response do you get?
Well, I think with myself, I think because I'm a user of the products, and as you know, I'm a survivor of the stroke. I think that speaks volumes to see where, they seen me where I was in a room, couldn't speak, and where I am right now. And they seen that my numbers, I speak to them about my labs and different things, how I don't use any medicines or anything like that. The recovery is remarkable. So that speaks volumes. But a lot of times I point them back to you and Dr. Wallach, as far as the information piece. I record a lot of times our conversations, pull them up on the archive, and I address their situations, their issues that they're going through. And with your advice, that's geared directly to them, they take and heed that advice and they get the results. I have a person.
It's awesome.
I have a person that recovered, that his numbers from cancer is actually prostate cancer due to the advice that you gave him. The numbers are reversing.
Now, here's I know. Look, man, right? I've been doing this for 25 years. It's awesome, right? It's awesome. But here's what I want to know, because I'm always curious about this, and I'm kind of outside of this loop now, and I always like to dip my foot back into these waters every once in a while just to get a reality check. So, given the fact that you've had such a remarkable recovery yourself, right? Did your conventional medical doctors have anything to say to you about your recovery or ask you the details of it? How that you pulled that off, or what's that relationship been like since you've been getting better?
Well, needless to say that, I haven't told them that per se that they still think that I'm using their drugs. So when they see that all my numbers, the 1AC1 or however you say that right there, and the blood pressure is lowered, or your liver looks great, and all these remarkable things, they still think that I'm taking stuff like metformin, lisinopril, and all these other things like that, and I haven't touched that junk.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's just crazy. It's quite remarkable, and it's quite crazy. Now, here I want to enroll you in another aspect of this, Clinton, that you may find useful here. Okay, and everybody's lives are different, and everybody has different stressors, and this, that, and the other thing. But here's what I would encourage you to try to start to do in order to make your enrollment of longevity with people in your life even more effective. So, attempt in the enrollment conversation to get people into the radio show, to watch the radio show, to attend the event, rather than you calling in, asking me a question about them, recording it, and then playing it back for them, right? Now, look, here's the deal. And here's why I say this, and here's why I'm beating this drum, and I'm going to beat this drum till the end of the year now. People will find time. If they're working a JOB from 9 to 5, they get medical leave. If they have to go see the doctor for a GYN exam, or they get to go get a flu shot or whatever, right? Then the boss is going to give them time to leave work, and that's just all built into the system. So if you're contact, if your prospect can find the time in their lives to take time off of their work to visit their MD, then they can also find time to take off from their work to come to one of my live chats in the evening. They don't even have to get off of work for that, or to watch the radio program live. Now, if you can encourage people wholeheartedly, almost insist that they come to the radio program, watch it live, come to the live chats and watch them live, sit in the seats, be in the room during the live presentation, it makes all the difference. Now, you, because of your story, will probably be able to enroll just about anybody, especially people that know you and people that have a relationship with you, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and oh my God, you're walking the walk and talking the talk. But remember, the effectiveness of this business model and the effectiveness of this, social engine for change is to have thousands of people do what you do. And thousands of people don't have your story. But thousands of people can invite people into the chat room. Thousands of people can invite their prospects into the live chat at night. Thousands of people can invite their prospects into the radio program to view it live, and that's all free. So moving forward here, I would encourage you, in addition to what you're already doing, to make it develop a sense of urgency for the people that you're attempting to bring into the business by encouraging them wholeheartedly to sit in the seat during the live presentation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, and I will. That is just another tool, so I definitely will do that. I'll start that immediately, so I definitely appreciate that advice right there, and I will definitely heed to it.
Because remember, man, you're awesome, but you can't clone yourself, and nobody has your story. So in order for your business to grow, people need to be doing something that works, and it's a simple system, right? One team, one dream, everybody's following the same plan. You know the drill. And really, if you can get into the habit yourself of inviting people to these events and making sure that they show up, then members of your team will do the same thing, man. And when members of your team do the same thing, it all comes together in one big, beautiful canvas, and then we really start making some moves here.
That's what I will do. Now, I think I have the one question.
I'm ready.
One of my members of my church, and it's for his daughter. She is dealing with ataxia.
Oh, ataxia? Have they figured out why?
No, I haven't really got that deep into it. He just sent me an email and said, could you ask Dr. Glidden this question right here?
All right. Well, ataxia is fancy schmancy doctor talk for they can't walk correctly. So like their feet don't go where they want them to go, or somebody will be walking down the hall and they veer off to the left, or they veer off to the right, or someone will be walking and they kind of bend over forward, and then they run and they run and they run and then they fall down. It's like ataxia is like cats. There's a lot of different types of cats. Well, there's a lot of different types of ataxia. And it's just fancy schmancy doctor talk for not being able to walk correctly. And there's 1,000 things that can cause it. The first, second, and third places to look whenever anybody has something like this is prescription medications and their side effects. So, number one, you want to look to see if the child is on any prescription meds, even if it's birth control, and look to see if ataxia is one of the known side effects. If it is, well, then you've solved the problem. They just need to get off of that med, and it'll go away. Notwithstanding that, the first thing to do here with somebody with this type of a diagnosis is to support and promote a healthy central nervous system, because we got to make sure the nerves are firing correctly, because often when ataxia is present, there's a neurological disequilibrium. It's a neurological problem rather than a bone or a joint problem or a liver problem, right? So we need central nervous system support as a generic broad brush here. And so how do we do that? Well, you know how to do that. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Increase your consumption of salt that has iodine in it, and I'm getting people away from table salt and having them lean more towards a Himalayan salt or Celtic salt or some natural salt that has iodine added to it. Salt your food so that it tastes good. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, and interestingly enough, right, eat a diet high in cholesterol, because the nerves in our bodies are made from cholesterol. 75% of our brains, man, are made from cholesterol. It's made from cholesterol. Cholesterol is so important to the human body, our liver makes it. It makes it. The same way that it makes sugar if it needs to. It'll make sugar. Well, it'll make cholesterol. Cholesterol is extremely important to the human bodies, and if you don't have enough cholesterol because you're on a fat-free diet or you're exercising a ton and you're eating skim milk and low-fat milk and you haven't touched a stick of butter in 10 years and, you know, you're fat-phobic because you want to look like a supermodel, whatever, you're going to have low levels of cholesterol, and that's going to drive all kinds of funky neurological problems. So a diet that's high in cholesterol, and you know the easiest way to do that, the easiest way to get good cholesterol into the body is eggs and butter. Soft boiled, soft scrambled, or poached eggs with butter and salt, a little cayenne pepper, yum, 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 yum. 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs a day. Dr. Wallach recommends 12 eggs a day. I don't know anybody that can do that, honestly. Of course, Dr. Wallach could say just shut up and eat your eggs, but you know, you got to do what you can do, right? So a diet that's high in cholesterol, you can get cholesterol from other sources than eggs. You know, rare hamburger, rare steak, chicken with the skin, turkey with the skin, right? So just go cholesterol crazy as far as the dietary discipline is concerned. And for the supplementation, the recommendation is the One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of HGH Youth Complex per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, or you could interchange that with the Cherry Mins if you want. The plant-derived minerals or the Cherry Mins, one of those per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And that's a good place to start for the child, plus everything else. And, you know, you want to look to see, right, as you're waiting for the gait to improve and for the ataxia to improve, look to see what happens to everything else, man, because everything's connected. Mood, energy, appetite, menstrual cycle, right? Everything, right? Because everything's connected. And if she pays attention to everything else, then she'll be able to have a heads up within 3 months. And this is the idea for everybody here. Everybody does the appropriate intervention for 3 months before they judge it up or down. And in that 3-month time period, if something in her body mind has improved dramatically, not just a little bit, but it's improved like, wow, I can't believe that's better, then we're on the right track, and we just maintain the discipline until all of our health chickens come home to roost and life is good. So that's how I would handle that. And remember, we want to see results in short periods of time, somewhere in the body that's dramatic. Sound like a plan, Stan?
Yes, sir.
Clinton, you're awesome. Keep up the good work, man. You're, again, you know, you probably have a sense of this, but let me just reinforce this. Your community needs you more than you think that they do. So don't be shy. No more secret agents. Encourage everybody in your downline to have at least one conversation with one person once a day. And, you know, an effective longevity conversation takes like 5 minutes max. I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. If I lend you this DVD, will you watch it? If I invite you to this radio show, will you show up? That's a yes or a no question. You ask that question 10 times a day. In a year, you will not recognize your life nor your checkbook. Stick around, folks. Finishing up the show with Cleveland in Virginia when we come back. Hey, we're back. Finishing up the show today. If you haven't checked it out already, it's a relatively new part of the Insider Experience. Please poke around the forum, which is available to you as an insider. Please poke around the Insider Forum, which is available to you now as an insider. It is a chat room. Well, it's not a chat room. It's a forum where you can go and post questions for different topics, look to see what other people's questions are, look to see what my answers to those questions are, search the database for questions and answers. It's an awesomely remarkable tool. Become familiar with how to navigate the forum. Pay attention to the rules of the road, please. and you will, by a factor of 10, increase your effectiveness in helping people recover their health. Let's talk to Cleveland in Virginia. Hey, Cleveland, what's up? Come on in, Cleveland.
Oh, yes. Good to hear you, man. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, Cleveland.
One of my business partners, he's in his mid-70s. He weighs 290 pounds. He's on the selenium and the Z-Radical. I don't think he's on the Healthy Start Pack, but he went to the VA hospital Saturday. He said he has trouble passing his urine. They went in through his belly button. I think they put a tube or something. He got swollen prostate. His lips are swollen. They say he got blood clot in his stomach, and they say he got a spot on his kidney. And they wanted to go in through his back. So my buddy, Mr. Ball, he believes in longevity as well as I do. So he asked me to call you, the smartest man in the world, and see what kind of help, man.
Well, I'll be the second smartest man in the world, but I appreciate the strokes. So, well, you know, this is a sticky wicket because with this much trouble, you know, we've got a lot of work to do, and we're going to need more than just what he's taking right now, and it's either going to be in his budget or it's not. So it's a real sticky wicket, right? So, number one, he's got to stop all of the 10 bad foods, man, or this isn't going to work. He's got to stop all 10 bad foods. Just stop it. And, you know, I have a free video on my website, which he can download, which explains why these 10 foods are bad. I'm not just going to tell people to stop doing stuff. I'm going to explain why they're bad and encourage them to try it for themselves. That's always a better approach. So he needs to clean up his diet yesterday, man. He needs to stop this crap immediately, number one. Number two, how much does he weigh, Cleveland? Do you have a guesstimate?
He said he weighed 290 pounds.
Woo-hoo-hoo! He's a big boy.
He's been a member for a couple of years, so I think he's on for the 10 bad foods.
Well, you got to know, right? I mean, I a lot of times people that once they've been in, they kind of relax the discipline. And if he's been in for a couple of years and he's not on a Healthy Start Pack, then I'm kind of wondering where his head is at. So in reverse order, here's what I would give him based on financial concerns. Okay. He's got to start with 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month, 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month, 4 bottles of selenium a month, 4 bottles of selenium a month, 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. That is a bare minimum for him. Now, after he's hit that target, he wants to do 3 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 3 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 3 of those a month. If he can't do 3 of those a month, he needs to do 2 of those a month. If he can't do 2 of those a month, he needs to do 1 of those a month. If he can't do 1 of those a month, he needs to do 1 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 per month, 1 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 per month. Okay? You know, he also needs the EFAs and he needs the calcium. I mean, he needs a lot of stuff, man. But really, you know, this is going to be a tricky situation for you, Cleveland. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Get him on as aggressive of a program as he can afford. Keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. You know, sometimes we just have to do what we can do and then give the rest to the universal being. I appreciate your trust and your persistence. Keep up the good work, everybody. Until we meet in person, I remain your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden, encouraging you to become an insider. What are you waiting for goodness sake? drglidden.com. Click on the button. Join the club. Live long and prosper. See you around campus.